Hi, everyone. Hi, Wendy. Thank you for joining me
Hi.
today. It's
So
so
good to be with you, Heather.
good to be with you too. So, viewers, Wendy with the Center for Somatic Grieving and myself, we are going to be putting on a holiday workshop survival strategies experience.
We are so excited to share with you, some tips to support yourself through the holidays. And our intention is to keep it, simple and like immediate support at your fingertips that you can access in real time.
So, Wendy, do you mind introducing a little bit about who you are? And then I can introduce a little bit about who I am. And then we can talk about how we met.
Yeah, great. I can't wait to tell that part because it's really fun. My name is Wendy Stern. It's so nice to meet you all. And I run the Center for Somatic Grieving. And what my work does is I bring people into community and offer somatic practices, support, and ways to really work through our grief through our bodies, to have our bodies be the resource and the primary place that we can go and feel and access our grief as a way to get to know it and to move through it. So, community, deep listening practices, and somatic awareness is really at the heart of what I offer and do.
Mm.
And would love to share some of these somatic tips with you in our workshop.
And you also do grief retreats, which
I
I think
do.
is amazing.
I do. I do. I offer somatic grief retreats and trainings for other practitioners to integrate somatics into your own practices, as well as group programs and individual support for people who are going through loss themselves and want to be supported. Thank you for that, Heather.
You're welcome. I think they're really special and such a cool integrative community building experience. So I always admire people who put on such connecting experiences. So I wanted to make sure that was known as well because they're awesome and they're on the road. You go to lots of cool, beautiful places for
We
space to
do.
heal.
We
Mhm.
do. Thank you.
Yeah. So, I'm Dr. Heather Taylor. I'm a licensed psychologist and a grief specialist, and I host the Grief is the New Normal podcast. Yeah, and I'm also working on some griefy courses, and I do some writing and speaking and all about providing modern grief education, especially as clinicians. Many of us were not provided grief education, and yet we're in this healing space, and grief is such a universal lived experience. So, how do we show up and hold space and stay in the grief with those that we're working with? Yeah. So that's a little bit about me.
Heather, I want to start and share a little bit of how we met because what you just said, like every bit of that is like how we connected. And it's really like the way that you even just shared what you do. There's already such an invitation to feel seen and held and to be in connection. So I'm going to start by just
Do
sharing a
it.
little bit of how we connected, and you could just jump in as you want to. Heather and I have both been a part of creating a beautiful book that came out recently, Stories of Friends and Family Lost. And we had a few little touch points with each other from a distance. But before the book was launched, Heather, I'll just say, was there as kind of the grief expert, as a psychologist to kind of speak to like what grief is about and from a clinical perspective, and all the different contributing authors shared their stories of their own experiences. I shared my story of losing my son, and leading up to the book launch we went online and each author had an interview with Heather and the person who was the main creator of the book and then the publisher. And I feel like we had like a little portal or vortex that happened. There were two other people besides Heather on this interview with me, and I felt profoundly seen by you, Heather, and like understood as I was speaking about my work. It was like such a beautiful feeling of feeling connected, and there was just this ease. And as I've gotten to know you and what you do with your work, it's just such a perfect fit with your knowledge and your heart and the way that you really not only support people who are grieving, but offer this education of like, how do we hold space? And I know that's where we overlap, but we each have this different way of doing it. And it was just felt like sparks when we first connected. And I don't know if I've ever shared this with you, but my parents were watching. And before you reached out to me, they were like, oh, that psychologist was into you, is what they said. They're like, you need to connect with her. You guys have some chemistry. And and my mom is like a total psychic herself. She sees things. before they happen. And it was just this instant chemistry of feeling understood. So that's my version of how we met and connected. And then you're welcome to chime in, but it was a really special moment and it made me excited even more to work together.
Yeah, very similar vibes. In the Stories of Book series, I got the opportunity to write a psychoeducation grief chapter at the end of the book. So after all of these beautiful stories of loss and loved ones, here's some education at the end of it just to help give context and normalizing and validating. And that was my intention with it. And so then with the book launching, they had me stay on camera the whole time while all of the authors are kind of in the wings, and they bring you guys each out one at a time. And Wendy, when you came out, I was like, oh, I like her energy. Okay. And then as you started to share and just it just felt like such a heart connection. So I love that your mom picked up on our vibe.
She did.
That's amazing. But I was like, I tucked it because I think there are 12 or 13 authors in the book, and of the authors, I was so excited I was like, I have to follow up with Wendy. I would love to know more about the work that you do and your story. And you had such intention with how you showed up in that space and were so grounded. And yeah, it was just lovely to get to be in that moment with you. And I felt like we were having like a one-on-one conversation, even though there were other
I
people in the virtual space with us.
Yeah,
So,
I felt that too. It was special. So, yeah, if you didn't reach out to me, I would have reached out to you the next minute. So we were right there. Yeah, yeah. And our work is so complementary. So it's exciting, and you all are going to get to benefit from that because we offer, we do similar work, similar intention, but with different perspectives and different tools and tips and support available. So it's a great match.
yeah. So that being said, leads into what we are doing together. So why we're in this little social media space. We are and have created a holiday survival toolkit for helping you hold space for yourself as you navigate the nuance of the holiday seasons. And we're going to be offering this virtually because we're in different time zones. So
Mhm.
this will be offered on December 12th from 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And we're going to go over some different ways we can process our griefs and support our grief somatically, as well as provide some psychoeducation and care plans and helping you walk away with some tangible suggestions and tools to navigate the complicated holiday season.
Yeah, the intention is to like feel this space of support around you and to know that it doesn't mean that you have to figure it all out, that these tips aren't about having it all figured out. Um, there's no certain place you're supposed to get to with this. It's really to give you some tools to navigate it and to meet yourself where you are, whatever is coming up as the holidays come, to know that you have the support to meet yourself there. And the idea of planning ahead a little bit, knowing that the holidays can bring up a lot in all the ways and all the feels. And so to start before the holidays come with a bit of a plan and some practices that will support you to be present with yourself and to feel held as we come up to the holidays pretty soon.
Yeah. I think I don't know about you, but when I've been in griefier seasons and the holidays come up, it's like I feel almost like they're sneak attacking me, and suddenly I'm expected to be cheery and I'm exhausted and cranky, and I didn't know how to help myself navigate that in a way where I'm still honoring this season, whatever that means for you, honoring the relationships that I have, the people that want to connect with me, but not knowing how to have boundaries or how to take care of myself in that. And it turned into this like, well, if I just keep my head down and like muscle my way through, and then I'm just wrecked in January and I didn't enjoy the holiday season because there was no space for me to breathe and to ground and reorient and all of that. And so I think having a workshop like this, a little toolkit, can help us navigate it in a way that's more honoring to ourselves and the different emotional spaces and relationship seasons that we're in.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And it's so personal for each of us. And so I think what you said is so key. It's like whatever space we're in, it is about creating that space. It is about creating that space and not, and I think the boundary piece is huge. when it's not a yes, then it's a no, and to be able to honor that and to know that's okay.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, there's so much activity and busyness that it can be really hard to create that space. And part of our intention with this is to give you some really direct, clear ways to be able to do that, that are honoring of yourself, and through that, honoring of your loved ones. And to normalize, I'll say that too, so many of the things that you're probably feeling as we get closer to this time. So
Absolutely.
I'm excited.
I
I
am
can't
too.
wait to
I
do
think
this
it's
with
going to
you.
be great.
Yeah.
So, as a reminder, this is going to be offered December 12th, 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. PST. So just 90 minutes to help set yourself up for, the 3-week sprint of the holidays. And in order to get put on our registration list, feel free to comment the word support in the comments on this video, or you can message Wendy or myself, and we'll follow up with you to get you registered for this. And hopefully in the next day or two, we'll have a link and we'll just share that in our stories. So you can just click the link and it'll just automatically register you. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I'm going to add one last thing,
Yes,
just to give you
please.
a sense of some clear takeaways from this. If you're like, well, what am I going to get from this? Our intention is for you to walk away with a guided meditation that you can do between now and then. Very brief, very short and sweet and clear, to just ground and to connect and to breathe and to feel yourself. And a plan. Like, our intention is for you to walk away with like a plan that you've made for yourself. So as you're moving towards the holidays, you feel like you don't have to figure it out in a moment of stress or a moment of a big wave of grief. You've already kind of thought it through, and then you have some things at your fingertips to be able to access. So that's a little bit of what you'll take away with you.
Thank you for adding that in. Yes, I think having those like prefabbed languages,
Mhm,
just so we know how to respond to text, know things that are like the non-negotiables for us. Like that can be so
mhm,
helpful in advance. So then when we're in that moment and all of the feelings are there, it's like, wait, I did that workshop. I made my little holiday survival toolkit and I can look back on that. How did past me want to set up current me for success in
mhm,
navigating
mhm.
this season? And so we're going to have a handout. There'll be a little workbook takeaway thing. We really want you to feel like you have something you can, stick on your fridge, high visibility, to know how you're going to navigate this upcoming season. And like Wendy said, have tools that you can use specifically for this time.
Yeah,
Yeah, great. Yay, well, I'm excited. Thanks for meeting with me today, Wendy.
yeah. Thanks for meeting with me too, and look forward to seeing you all pretty soon in the
Yeah,
next few weeks.
we'll see you on December 12th. Take care, everyone.
Yeah. Bye, everyone. Much love.